o'clock, and it's time for us to open it to fix it on Budeshi, as we do every other Friday with the Public-Private Development Center, PPDC. Now, as we all know, education is the bedrock of any nation. Take education away and you take the life of the nation. And that is why our topic today is improved service delivery in education, key for national development. The education sector, as we know, has not fared so badly as our government has made efforts to provide free education to citizens that cannot access basic education. Recently, there has been a bill to ensure qualitative and quantitative education for Nigerian children to access free and compulsory education to be extended till senior secondary school. Has the bill been passed? What are the benefits of the bill? This and many more questions we will be interrogating and, of course, be answered by our guests in the studio. And to discuss this topic this morning, Margaret Azubike, Procurement Monitor of the PPDC. Good morning to you, Margaret.
Morning.
Thank you for coming over. Now, as a Procurement Monitor of PPDC, Margaret, can you share your experiences on the field while monitoring some of these UBEC projects?
All right, thank you very much. My experiences, okay. So far, I think the level of work is like 80%. UBEC has been trying. When we go to these places, we find out that most of the projects are on ground. They're on ground, except that, yes, there has been situations where you find out that there are some that are under lock and key. There are some that maybe the contractor comes around and then he's doing stuff and maybe he damages something and he promises to come back and he doesn't come back. But for like the project itself, you find out that you see them on ground and they're like 80%. Also, from my experiences, I found out that one of the challenges they also have is needs assessment. When you go to these places, you meet the community dwellers and they tell you that this is not actually what they want at that time. They want something else, they want something more. So instead of a construction or renovation thing, maybe they would have just built a lab for them or giving them some computers and stuff like that. And then you want one thing I know is that you rarely see abandoned projects when it comes to UBEC. You rarely see abandoned projects, but you find a lot of projects that are under lock and keys from the places I have visited. I speak from the places that I've visited. And then most of the complaints too you get to hear is they are short staff.
Yeah.
They are short staff and they always complain for much, like Oliver Twist. They want this, they want that, they want that. But many of the places I've been to, they're always complaining of being short staff. Another challenge too was the location. Places you go to, before you find these schools, very bad location. You have to keep asking. In fact, you need all the patience in the world to be able to access these places. And then another challenge too I found out was electricity. Electricity was like
practically
20%. 20%. Most of those people, whatever they do, it's like 20% no electricity, and they're always like, okay, please, can you help us talk to government, talk to people in charge to help us see what they can do with electricity. But overall, for UBEC projects, I'll give them a pass compared to some other MDAs have visited their projects.
Okay.
Talking about improved service delivery, we all know that improved service delivery has to do with the 3 tiers of government. And I'll pick my instances from the subjects I've mentioned. For instance, when you say a school is short staff, if you don't have teachers in a school, it's a problem. There's really no need going to the school.
Yes.
So when they are short staff, that means the school is partially functioning. Because when you have like 2-3 teachers, that's one, talking about being short staffed. We're not even talking about qualification, talking about the teachers who are qualified.
Yeah.
When they're short staffed, you find out that students just go to school and play, and end of the day, they go back home. So I think to improve service delivery, the government really needs to look at the staffing of the schools. Again, not only the staffing, the qualification of the teachers they get. So if I get a teacher who cannot tell me what 30 minus 22 is, it doesn't make sense.
True.
Yes. Also, I visited a school somewhere in Delta State, and after all the hard time getting to access this place, I see the principal and I'm like, okay, you're the principal. And when you meet a principal who cannot even construct a proper lesson note, I don't know what he's going to put out to the students. So I mean, the staffing is a great challenge.
Sure.
So it will actually help if the government looks into it for, service delivery, proper service delivery, so that it will affect the nation. Because when these students come out and there's nothing in their heads, it doesn't really make sense. Another thing is infrastructure. Infrastructure is it. If you have, for instance, I have a very good home, I'm happy, I'm relaxed, I have a good mindset. So the infrastructure, when I'm talking about the projects, the building itself, when the students go to school and they're in a conducive environment, you find out that they're willing to learn, their mind is calm, their brain is calm. Whatever you're pushing out to them is, they're absorbing it, they can interact and they can learn. But when you have a situation where, for instance, a complaint of insecurity, there's no good fence, or it's not fenced at all, and maybe there's been cases of rape and all of that, students are scared. They're in class, but their mind is elsewhere, because they are thinking of what's going to happen the next minute and all of that. There has also been situations where they talk about hygiene. You go there and they say there's no toilet. So I can wake up in the morning, student can wake up in the morning and go to school, and before you know, it's either he's bored or something, and he tells you, I want to go to toilet, and to whom it may concern, school is over that day, because maybe it's going back home or going to wherever. To
the nearest bush.
Yes, exactly. And then another thing is still on infrastructure. When they don't have the proper materials for learning, you go to a school, you find out that there's no lab. Okay, lab is one. Even the learning materials. If they don't have the learning materials, what are they coming to do? You're not even encouraging the parents themselves, because if you say it's free education and you want to help, you help to the last.
No?
Yes, you do what you think is right. So these learning materials, the infrastructure, lab, and there are schools that I've been to and they actually had a lab. And then they tell you the contractor came and he broke it down and he said he was coming back and he didn't come back. And at the end of the day, maybe even they're querying him and he's like, it was not in his project. Okay, so why did you destroy the one they already had? And then when you talk about locking it again, some have labs that are built with equipment and it's being locked up. How?
Okay.
So, I mean, improving service delivery. Education is a very strong key, because at the end of the day, if these students are well equipped, they learn, they settle down and accommodate the things they are being taught, it helps them by the time they come out as representatives of Nigeria, it helps them a long way, because they'll be able to also impact the nation.
Because if you bring out half-baked people, then you have a half-baked nation.
Exactly.
Like we rightly said. Do you want to chip into that,
Well, she's said quite a lot, and it takes for people who go down to the grassroots and go around those facilities to be able to say this much. She gave a pass mark to UBEC, to UBE, the UBE system of funding, which is an intervention funding for the state and for education as a whole. It could score a pass mark because the way it was conceptualized and made to work, and I think it's also a very good tool if we make use of it to be able to ensure a quality service delivery in education.
Talking about government realizing the importance of improving service delivery, I think it's a very slow process. It's a work in progress. It's a slow process, but I'm trusting we'll get there. But I know over time what we do is when we visit these places, when we visit the project and we see the community dwellers, we talk to them, all of that we compile in a report, we send back to the MDA involved, and then if we need to sit on the round table to discuss and clarify certain things, we always make ourselves available for a meet so that we could get them to know that this is this and this is that, because over time we've also heard them talk about them having their own monitoring team and all of that. We're trusting that sometime before the year runs out, we're still going to go back to the field and, have an overview of this project and see if there is progress and see if anything has been done so far.
Okay, the UB, like I mentioned initially, is an intervention program by the federal government of Nigeria, and the UBA Act enabled the UBEC, that is Universal Basic Education Commission, to be able to manage the fund vis-a-vis the SUBEB, the State Universal Basic Education. The act itself came to be in 2004, and as at today, just a little above 50% of the state are accessing the fund. More than 50 billion naira, about in 2016, about 59 billion Nigerian naira is waiting to be claimed. The state are not accessing it. Then we started thinking among ourselves, why are state not accessing this fund? We look back into between 2000 and 2005, 2006 year, we discovered that all the states made use of the fund, 100%. The year that followed, all the states used the fund. Then the year after it, only about 4 states didn't use the fund. Then coming here about in 2000 and 2015, about 17 states did not access the fund. And we're looking at, okay, what are the issues? What are the issues around this? And we know that if this fund is utilized, it will ensure free, safe, and compulsory education, basic education. And so we thought, if this act is amended to ensure that states are able to access this fund in a not so easy way, but in a way that will make them to both access it and also to be able to utilize it on what they said they will use it for, and it's being monitored effectively. We think it will contribute immensely to education in Nigeria, basic education in Nigeria. And also we think we cannot just say universal basic education and stop at 9 years compulsory education. The 2004 Act stipulates just 9 years compulsory education, which means by the time I do the first 6 years, I do the following 3 years, I might decide to drop out if it's not free anymore. And about 10.4 million out of school children in Nigeria, we believe more than 50% of them are girls, and one of the reasons for low enrollment and not completing education is, at the point in time the education is no longer free, at the point in time is no longer safe. And so when it's not free and safe at maybe GS3, after GS3 they drop out. We should also look back at the system of education, which is 6334. The 6334 was built on the fact that it has its bedrock in technology. And now technology as it were is a development tool for a nation growth and national development, so to say. So if we only stop at 633, now jettisoning 63, jettisoning the 3 after it, and not making it compulsory, and not making it free, and not making it safe for the children, we thought it would do more harm than we could ever envisage. So we are advocating for the 9 years to be extended to 12 years. Okay. And up till now, the Senate arm of the National Assembly has passed the amendment bill. It was passed sometimes around July last year, and it's been communicated to the House of Rep. And now where we are is we are imploring the House of Rep to make fast and make quick and ensure that the amendment bill is passed from their own end.
But just to let our audience know, does the bill actually stand a fair chance to be passed?
Yes.
By Senate?
Yeah. The Senate has passed it July 2017. Is the House of Rep where we are now, and we are imploring the House of Rep to consider it. And of course, that is why we also just need to keep on enlightening every of the stakeholders who care to listen to know that, see, the good in the amendment, we can't quantify it at the long run, because this is a bill that it took care of so many things. You talk
Like
about the Almajiri education,
Almajiri.
the nomadic education that has to do with cattle
nomadic,
people, the nomadic people. It also takes care of children with special learning needs. Also,
So all of this will be captured and taken care of.
is
in
within the bill already, as
Yes.
it were, but it only provide for 9 years. So we are saying, what if it covers for 12 years? That is primary school, secondary school. Then it means we are covered. Then one thing it will do is, from empirical evidence, we've been able to see that when a girl child, for instance, complete a secondary school, it takes away so many challenges already. Maternal mortality rate cut low, early marriage cut low, and so many other things will be taken care of. And both the girl and the boy will be able to contribute meaningfully to nation development. And so we think, instead of just 9 years, let's make it 12 years. And that is what the advocacy is about.
Oh, interesting. Well, interesting conversation this morning, and no doubt very enlightening. I mean, I don't know how many of you knew about this bill and basically what it entails, and the fact that, look, it's being pushed for by some of the likes of PPDC and Code at the forefront of it, and what it specifically would be doing. You know, how you and I as citizens, and even those people who are not necessarily put into consideration in the scheme of things, would also stand to benefit, basically to see how our education can be buffed up, and then also it would translate to national development. Well, today our topic has been improved service delivery in education for national development, and Margaret and Meduping of the Youth Hub Africa and PPDC are here talking to us on the reason why this is very, very important. It's time to get you all on board to weigh in on this matter and make your contributions, because definitely, like we know, that if education is not put into consideration in any nation, then that is the death of that nation. All right, so let's hear your comments. Let's have your thoughts. Let's have your questions or any concerns you have about this bill, about improved service delivery in terms of education.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What?
Welcome. Please just reduce the volume of your radio because it's echoing.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well. Go on.
All right. What I'm trying to say, the education system in Nigeria, mainly in UBD, has been gone down. That is why you see many people decided to carry their children to the private schools. Because if you go to a private school, you come to realize that some of the private schools, they know about what they call IT. But in the government area, they have not known about that. So the UBE and secondary education should make it possible to introduce this system to assist the government schools. Government should do more about universal basic education to assist the system in ICT development, because the universe is now a global ICT. Thank you.
In our finding, we've discovered that a particular trend which maybe they find it easier to assess initially than coming towards 2015, 2016, 2017. One might just from nowhere think it has to do with the economic condition of the state from 2015 to about mid 2017. Having created that background, the UB Act stipulates that states will contribute 50% as a counterpart funding to whatever the federal government is putting together. And the 50% in most cases is a huge chunk of money for this state to come up with.
Yeah.
In 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, in the years of oil boom, it might have been very easy for the state to come up with, but 2015, 2017, it might not necessarily be like that, and that is why we are also looking at the amendment and say, okay, can the state contribute only 10 to 20%? That might make it easier for them. Now, the reporting, I think the reporting criteria also makes it a little bit difficult for the state to want to assess it, and so we are also thinking moving forward what we might want to do in partnership with UBEC. This is not official now. Is to see a possibility of enlightening the SUBEB, enlightening the state authorities, so that they will be able to understand the monitoring procedures and to make their work easy, so that they will look forward to assessing the money, using it, and reporting, instead of being scared by those realities. One other thing that I might want to think caused them not to be able to access the fund, because of that counterpart funding, then the solubility state of those states. How soluble are they? How financially buoyant are they at those particular point in time? Also determine then the transitioning of the government here and there, because up till now in Nigeria we don't have a system, a viable system in place, or an enduring system in place, where once another government comes in, it won't affect what the other government has done. Once an officer comes in, it won't affect the others. That might slow down things. Once this person come in, he will start from the scratch again, and to reinvent the wheel, and that might also frustrate so many efforts. If you approach the UBEC also might have other reasons, either similar or far different from what I've stated, why they think the state has not been assessing the funds.
Okay, quite interesting there. Again, always tweet at PP Monitor NG. Okay, that's one word. PP Monitor NG. The NG is in capital letter, using the hashtag Open It to Fix It, and hashtag Budeshi. Let's get the conversation going, because it never stops, and we need to just put it out there that, look, education, our health sector, internet, and a whole lot, is very important for our progress and development as a nation. Margaret?
Yeah, okay, so I was going to say that PPDC is very open to interaction and all of that. So I'll just be calling out our channels where people can reach us very easily. Our phone numbers are 070 366 18896. So I'll take it again. 070 366 18896. Our email is ppdc@procurementmonitor.org. Our Twitter, we are at ppmonitorng. NG is in capital letter. On Facebook, you can get us on Procurement Monitor. On Instagram, we are at procurement_monitor_Budeshi. I'll take it again, at procurement_monitor_Budeshi. And then our website is procurementmonitor.org. So whichever way anyone wants to reach us for your feedbacks, for your contribution, for anything whatsoever, we're always available to talk to. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. But, well, that's how it's been on Budeshi this morning. It's been an interesting conversation, and of course our focus this morning has been on improved service delivery in education, and which is very key for our national development. Margaret has brought in her rich experience as a procurement monitor, based on the works that she's been doing, monitoring some UBEC projects across the country. And Medupe Olusegun, also programs manager, Youth Hub Africa, has also helped to give us a great insight as to the UBE amendment bill and just basically what we expect and what will be the benefits if that pulls through. We hope that all of this will be put into consideration, and not just the government and the NGOs, but all citizens' hand will be on deck to ensure that what ought to be done is done to improve our educational sector. Thank you so much for coming over this
Thank
morning.
you.
It's been a great time on Budeshi, and we'll do this again next week Friday.